Laughter is not just noise. It is not just a reaction. It is a weapon, a shield, a bridge that ties human souls together in a way words can never do. Think about it. You can meet someone for the very first time, no history, no shared background, no bloodline, and yet if you laugh together, instantly there is a bond. The walls that separate people, walls of ego, of judgment, of fear, collapse under the weight of genuine laughter. It does not matter if you are rich or poor, strong or weak, young or old. When laughter erupts, it equalizes everything. It is the one language the universe gave all of us to remind us that at the core of existence, we are meant to connect. There are people who live entire lives surrounded by crowds, yet remain lonely because they never experience this kind of connection. But then, there are those who have nothing in terms of possessions, and yet they are rich because their life is full of laughter. Look at families torn apart by distance, arguments, misunderstandings. Sometimes all it takes is a single moment of humor to remind them of what truly matters. A brother and sister who fight endlessly can suddenly find themselves bursting into laughter at the smallest thing, and in that instant the tension disappears. That's because laughter is not just a reaction to something funny. It is a reminder of love, a reminder of humanity, a reminder that we belong to each other. You see, pain isolates, success intimidates, fear divides, but laughter unites. When a crowd of strangers laughs together, they are no longer strangers. They are suddenly one body, one energy, one heartbeat. That is why some of the most unforgettable moments in life are not when you sit alone thinking about victories or failures, but when you are surrounded by people and you laugh so hard that you forget what was even funny in the first place. That memory doesn't fade because it's not about the joke, it's about the connection. Now think about why laughter is so powerful. When you laugh, your guard drops. You are vulnerable, open, and free. People spend their entire lives trying to defend themselves, wearing masks, hiding pain, pretending to be stronger than they are. But when they laugh, the mask falls. Suddenly, the truth appears. And when two people drop their guard at the same time, the connection becomes unshakable. You cannot fake that moment. That is why you can share silence with someone you've laughed with, and still feel their presence in your soul. Laughter is also the fuel that carries relationships through storms. When life beats you down, when responsibilities suffocate you, when everything feels heavy, the people who can still make you laugh are the ones you keep closest. Why? Because they don't just remind you how to smile. They remind you how to live. A relationship without laughter is fragile, like glass ready to shatter. But a relationship filled with laughter can survive anything, because no matter how hard the world tries to break it, laughter rebuilds it every time. And here's the truth many don't want to admit. Money cannot buy laughter. Power cannot force it. Status cannot guarantee it. You cannot purchase authentic joy. It must be created, it must be shared, it must be felt deep in the soul. That is why some of the most powerful memories people carry with them are not of luxury cars or mansions, but of sitting in a simple room, laughing until tears rolled down their face. In those moments, life felt infinite, and connection felt eternal. This is why shows filled with humor like Family Feud feel timeless. You may watch it for entertainment, but what you are really witnessing is human connection at its rawest. Strangers come on stage, they make mistakes, they answer questions wrong, the crowd laughs, they laugh at themselves, and suddenly everyone in the room feels connected. There is no barrier of culture, no barrier of wealth, no barrier of background, only laughter binding people together. But here's where most people go wrong. They underestimate it. They think laughter is just for fun. They think it's lightweight, meaningless, shallow. They couldn't be more wrong. Laughter is strategy. Laughter is survival. Laughter is healing. Think of soldiers who faced war, sitting around a fire at night, laughing at the absurdity of life while the world around them burned. That laughter gave them courage to keep moving. Think of families who had nothing, who lived through poverty, yet kept laughing around a small table. That laughter gave them hope to keep going, and I want you to remember this. People may forget what you said, they may forget what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And laughter is the fastest, strongest way to etch your presence into someone's heart. It's not about telling the funniest jokes or being a comedian. It's about the willingness to find light in the darkest places, to spark joy when it seems impossible, to share a moment of relief in a world that thrives on pressure. The connections built through laughter are not temporary. They outlast pain, they outlast distance. You could meet someone after 10 years of silence, and if your bond was forged in laughter, the moment you meet again, it will feel like nothing has changed. That is the power of it. It doesn't fade, it doesn't crack, it doesn't vanish. It lives inside you like a flame that cannot be extinguished. So what's the lesson? Don't take laughter lightly. Don't ignore its power. Learn to create it, learn to value it, and learn to protect it. Because the people who laugh with you are the ones who will stand with you, fight with you, and carry you when life gets heavy. Build connections through laughter, and those connections will carry you further than money, further than status, further than any achievement ever could. Laughter builds unshakable connections because it is truth, it is love, it is humanity expressed in its purest form. And if you can surround yourself with people who bring that into your life, then no storm, no obstacle, no enemy can ever break you. Joy is not a luxury, it is a necessity. It is not some shallow feeling you stumble upon once in a while. It is a reset button for the human soul, a force that pulls you out of darkness and puts you back into alignment with life itself. People underestimate joy. They confuse it with temporary pleasure, with distractions, with noise. But true joy is deeper. True joy is not found in scrolling on your phone, not in spending money you don't have, not in empty entertainment. True joy is that moment when the weight you've been carrying lifts off your shoulders, even if just for a second, and you remember who you really are beneath all the chaos. It is the medicine for the spirit, the recharge that makes you capable of facing the world again. Without joy, life becomes survival. With joy, life becomes purpose. Think about it. Every day we're fighting battles, some visible, most invisible. We wake up with responsibilities, deadlines, fears, doubts, and sometimes heartbreak that nobody else sees. And all that pressure builds up until you feel like you're suffocating under your own existence. Then, out of nowhere, a moment of joy strikes. It could be laughter with a friend, music that hits your soul, watching your child smile, or even just sitting in silence and realizing the storm has passed. That single spark of joy resets everything. Your problems don't vanish, but your perspective does. Suddenly, what felt impossible becomes manageable. What felt like the end becomes just another step. Joy is proof that your soul was never meant to stay broken. It's the body's way of saying, I can still rise. I can still fight. I can still feel alive. It's why people who carry joy inside them radiate energy that others are drawn to. You can see it in their eyes, in their smile, in the way they move. They aren't untouched by struggle. They are powered by joy despite the struggle. That's why they shine brighter, because they know joy is not about circumstances. It's about choosing to reset again and again, no matter how heavy life becomes. The reason joy is powerful is because it rewrites the story you're telling yourself. Pain tells you that you are weak. Stress tells you that you are failing. Fear tells you that you are not enough. But joy interrupts that narrative. Joy says you're still alive, and that means you still have a chance. You can't fake that energy. You can't replace it with anything artificial. That's why people who chase only material things often feel empty. They thought success would bring joy, but success without soul feels hollow. Joy is not about what you gain, it's about what you feel. Look at history. Some of the strongest people were not those who had perfect lives, but those who learned to find joy despite imperfection. Soldiers in the trenches sang songs to survive hell. Families with nothing in their cupboards still laughed at the dinner table. Communities in chaos still danced together in the streets. Why? Because joy gave them strength. Joy reminded them that no matter what was taken from them, life could not steal their spirit. Joy is rebellion. It is defiance against pain. It is the ultimate act of saying, I will not let this world break me. And let's be honest, without joy, what's the point? You can grind endlessly, you can build empires, you can chase power and money. But if you lose the ability to reset your soul, all of it will crush you. The strongest individuals are not those who never fall, but those who know how to reset when they do. They let joy cleanse their spirit so they can return stronger, sharper, and hungrier than before. That is why joy is not weakness. It is power. The world will try to convince you that seriousness and stress mean you are working hard, but the truth is that burnout without joy leads to destruction. Joy is the fuel that keeps the fire burning without burning you out. Think about how you feel after a genuine moment of joy. Your energy shifts, your creativity returns, your heart feels lighter. Suddenly, solutions you couldn't see before appear in front of you. You reconnect with the people you love. You rediscover your purpose. That's not coincidence. That is the reset. The mind and the soul align again, and you are reminded that you are not just existing, you are living. That is why joy is more valuable than gold. The tragedy is that most people starve themselves of joy. They postpone it, saying, I'll be happy when I get that job, when I buy that house, when I prove myself. But joy doesn't wait for conditions to be perfect. If you delay joy, you delay life. That's why some people reach the top and still feel empty. They ignored the reset along the way. And then there are those who have far less but feel richer because they embraced joy daily. They knew that joy is not found in the destination, but in the journey itself. Joy is also contagious. When you live in it, you spread it. Have you noticed how one person's genuine joy can light up an entire room? That's because the soul recognizes truth. People crave authenticity, and joy is the purest form of authenticity. You can't fake it. You can't package it. You can only feel it, and when you feel it, you gift it to others. This is why some of the most powerful leaders, the most inspiring individuals, are not the ones who never struggle. They are the ones who radiate joy even in struggle, showing others what's possible. So what is the lesson? Seek joy deliberately, protect it like a treasure, don't let this world rob you of it. Train yourself to find it in the little things, because joy is not rare. It is everywhere if you open your eyes. It's in the conversations that make you laugh until your stomach hurts. It's in the sunrise that reminds you of new beginnings. It's in the music that makes your spirit dance even when your body is tired. And every time you embrace it, your soul resets, your strength multiplies, and your future opens up wider. Life will test you. Life will try to crush you under responsibilities, heartbreak, and setbacks. But if you understand the secret of joy, you will always rise again, because joy is not just happiness, it is power. It is freedom. It is the reset button that allows you to keep pushing when others give up. Remember this. Success without joy is failure in disguise. Strength without joy is weakness pretending to be power. And life without joy is just survival. If you want to live truly live, then embrace joy. Let it reset your soul every single day, and you will become unstoppable, unbreakable, and unforgettable. Time is relentless. It moves forward without hesitation, without mercy, never pausing for anyone. You cannot stop it, you cannot slow it, and you cannot control it. But within this unstoppable current there are moments, shared moments that defy its power. These are not ordinary seconds on a clock. These are experiences so powerful, so deeply felt, that they become etched into the soul. And long after the days have passed, long after the people may be gone, long after circumstances have changed, those moments remain, living inside you like treasures no one can steal. That is why shared moments create memories stronger than time itself. Think about it. What do you remember most vividly about your life? It's rarely the routine. It's rarely the endless hours of grinding, stressing, worrying. No, what you remember are the times you truly connected. The laughter around the dinner table, the late night talks when the world was quiet, the adventures that went wrong but became stories you'll tell forever. These memories outlived time because they were not shallow, they were alive with meaning, with presence, with connection. Time can erase details, but it cannot erase how you felt in those shared moments. The power of shared moments lies in their ability to bond souls together. You can spend years knowing someone and never truly connect, but one powerful shared experience can tie you to them forever. That's why a single night of laughter can outweigh a year of silence. That's why one hardship faced together can forge a bond stronger than decades of polite small talk. Shared moments bypass the mind and go straight to the heart, and the heart never forgets. This is why family, friendship, and love matter so deeply. They are not defined by titles or words. They are defined by the moments you live together. You don't remember every meal you shared, but you remember the one where you couldn't stop laughing. You don't recall every day at school, but you remember the friend who stood by you when no one else did. You don't hold on to every conversation, but you will never forget the words spoken when you were at your lowest, and someone lifted you back up. These moments carry weight far greater than time's passing. Time tries to fade everything. It tries to dull the sharpness of memory, to bury emotions under layers of new experiences. But shared moments resist that. Years later, you can hear a song, smell a familiar scent, or visit a certain place, and suddenly the memory floods back in full color. That's not coincidence. That's the strength of connection. It means that while time is powerful, it is not absolute. The human soul has its own way of keeping what matters eternal. Shared moments also give life meaning. Imagine having all the success in the world, yet nobody to share it with. The victories would feel empty. But even the smallest win feels monumental when celebrated with others. The weight of failure feels crushing when faced alone, but becomes bearable when someone else stands beside you. That's why we chase connection. That's why we crave shared experiences. They don't just make life more enjoyable. They make life bearable, survivable, unforgettable. And here's the truth. Shared moments don't have to be grand or spectacular to be timeless. Often, it's the simple ones that last forever. A walk in the rain, a smile exchanged across a room, sitting together in silence and feeling understood without a single word spoken. These are the things that time cannot erase, because they touch something deeper than the surface of life. They speak to the soul. There's also a hidden strength in shared struggle. When you go through hardships with someone, the bond that is created cannot be broken by time or distance. People who have fought battles together, whether in life, in work, in personal struggles, carry those memories as proof of their resilience and unity. The memory of suffering shared becomes a memory of survival, and that survival becomes a lifelong connection. Time can move forward, but that moment of overcoming together will always exist, carved into both hearts. This is why nostalgia is so powerful. It's not about wanting to go back in time. It's about longing for the feelings of those shared moments that became immortal. When you miss your childhood, you don't miss the toys or the school books. You miss the shared laughter, the innocence, the memories of people who were there with you. When you miss a lost loved one, you're not clinging to the fact that they existed. You're holding on to the shared moments that live on inside you, stronger than death, stronger than time. And if you really think about it, this is the legacy every human leaves behind. Not money, not possessions, not titles, those all fade. What lasts are the shared moments you gave to others, the way you made someone laugh until their stomach hurt, the way you showed up when they needed you most. The adventures you created, the kindness you offered, the joy you spread, that is immortality. That is memory becoming stronger than time. So what does this mean for your life today? It means stop waiting for the perfect time to create memories. Stop postponing connection, thinking you'll have forever. Time is ruthless, but you can fight back by creating moments now. Laugh more, love louder, be present. Because one day, the people around you will not remember the stress you carried or the money you made. They will remember the moments you gave them. They will remember how you made them feel alive in your presence. And don't underestimate the small things. That one conversation where you listened instead of judging. That one joke that turned someone's entire day around. That one act of courage you shared that became a story for years to come. These are the memories that time cannot touch, because they live not in the mind, but in the soul. Shared moments create memories stronger than time because they connect us to the essence of life itself. Time can measure minutes, hours, days, but it cannot measure meaning. Meaning belongs to us. Meaning belongs to the moments we create with others. That is why, in the end, when everything else has faded, what remains are the faces we laughed with, the hands we held, the words that lifted us, the memories that defined us. That is true wealth. That is immortality. That is victory over time itself. Life is not measured by the years you live, but by the moments you create. Distance, silence, even the passage of time itself. None of these can erase the truth of laughter, joy, and shared memories. When you laugh with someone, you are not just laughing. You are binding your soul to theirs in a way that no storm can break. When you allow joy to reset your spirit, you rise above pain, stronger and more unshakable than before. And when you create shared moments, you carve memories that time itself bows down to, because they live forever in the hearts of those who were there. Understand this. Life will try to bury you under responsibilities, heartbreak, fear, and endless noise. But if you carry laughter, if you choose joy, if you value the shared moments, nothing can destroy you. The world can strip away your possessions, your titles, your comfort, but it cannot steal the memories you've built with those you love. That is where your strength lies. That is your immortality. So live in such a way that when your story is told, it is not about what you owned, but about the joy you spread, the laughter you created, and the memories you left behind.